Is there a difference between medical marijuana and recreational marijuana? What a fascinating question. Let's dive into it. I'm Lex Pelger. I do can education for CV Sciences, the makers of Plus CBD on the cannabinoids. Ask me anything. So, in a botanical sense, no, they're all cannabis plants and there shouldn't be any difference. But in a social legal sense, yes, there's a huge difference, and it varies across the world and across the US states in huge ways. And in fact, I don't feel like I need to go over how all these states and countries do it differently. Other journalists have covered that well. More, what might be helpful is what I've always said and what I dream about for the world, which is three different markets. You have the dietary supplements market where you have CBD rich products with some THC in them that you can buy at your grocery store or at your dietary supplement store. Then you have medical cannabis. And the deal with medical cannabis is that it should be tax free. It should be very heavily tested, especially for contaminants like heavy metals and fungus and other microbials. Sick people can be very liable to pick up infections, especially from fungus that might be in their products. So you need very, very clean product for medical cannabis. But then for the recreational market, it also needs to be tested good enough, just like bottom shelf beer is good enough. It's not going to poison you. You need to know that your recreational cannabis is not going to poison you. And also, I believe very strongly that it is a crime how incredibly taxed cannabis is, more than any other product being sold in the US market, and it makes it so hard for these companies to survive, let alone that they can't take out regular tax benefits because of the dreaded 280E clause from the IRS that treats them like illegal businesses, like cartels. But also, these businesses are being taxed to death. The entire industry is bleeding millions of dollars a quarter from all the companies that are publicly reported, and it doesn't need to be that way. It should be treated like any other agricultural product that we have, instead of like a cash cow by every state, because this strangling hurts the I think most of all, the diversity applicants and the people of color who should have access to these markets. They're the ones that are probably having the hardest time because of these laws being written in such a grabby way. So botanically, there's no difference between these different types of cannabis, but in terms of how we treat them, the differences are vast, and we're still figuring out what's the best.